Hey guys, I know a lot of you are stressed out right now because you see a lot of back to school signs out there everywhere, and you're thinking about what you need to get your child for back to school. There's signs everywhere at Target, CVS, Walmart. They're stocking things up for back to school, telling you need to buy it now. And I know it's stressing out a lot of people, especially people like me with more than one child. And so you get to that point where you start thinking, do I really need those flare pens my child wants? Do I really need those super cute flamingo pencil top erasers? What about those super cute mini erasers everyone's getting? Guys, it is stressful. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you that are new, I'm glad to have you here today. Many of you know that I'm a first grade teacher and I've been teaching that grade for a while now. In one of my videos, I had a parent actually ask me what would be some important items for a student to have when they go back to school. So I had to think about it because I usually provide most of the school supplies for my students, and then I consider it to be community supplies. So in this video, I thought really hard about what are some of the basic things that would be nice for a student to have in school. And so I decided to list 10 things that to me are a must-have, and then if you get any of the extras, fine. If not, then at least you have the basics. So in this video, let's go ahead and begin, and let me show you the things I like to have in my classroom. The first item on my list, and one that I highly recommend you get, is a number 2 pencil for your child. You can find them at a majority of the places, such as Walmart, Target, CVS, the Dollar Tree, 99-cent stores, Family Dollar. Just almost everywhere you go, you can find them. Now in my class, they're going to be expected to write starting day 1. They need to learn to write their names, they need to write in math, reading, writing. It's an everyday thing, and if your child doesn't have a pencil to write with, then it's gonna make it difficult for them to learn. Now, I provide my students with pencils. However, you don't know what the situation is going to be like with the new teacher or a new school. And so I highly recommend you get a pencil if that's the only thing you can get for your child. The second item on my list of classroom supplies that I feel your child should have is a notebook of some sort. It could be a spiral notebook or it could be a composition book. I recommend you just get whatever the teacher is requesting. The reason why we use notebooks in school, at least for me in my grade, is for my students to sometimes write their daily reviews, write down vocabulary words and definitions, draw certain pictures, and sometimes we just do daily free write where students get to write whatever they want, or sometimes I'll give them a subject and they write on it. This is a way for my students to get used to writing on their own daily and for them to get better at their actual handwriting as well. It gets them comfortable with words, vocabulary, sentence structures, and so on. So guys, a notebook is really important and one I highly recommend. The third item on the list of classroom supplies that I recommend you get for your child for back to school is a pack of crayons. For me, I prefer that the students have a pack of 24 Crayola crayons. The reason I say this is because I noticed that the Crayola crayons color a lot more smoothly, they color darker, and the students love it. The reason why I recommend 24 crayons as opposed to 8 is because this is the one that always goes on sale for 50 cents. I've heard some people say they got it for 25 cents, but I haven't gotten the 25 cents crayon packs, so 50 cents was as low as I've seen it. But that's why I always recommend the 24 pack. We do a lot of drawings to go along with whatever stories they write, especially when they do their free write. And so when they do their drawings, they get to color. Students love to color a lot, and that's why I recommend a pack of crayons for your child. The fourth item that I recommend you get your child for school is a 2-pocket portfolio with prongs. I know some people prefer to get their children binders, and that's fine if you want to get that, but for me in first grade, I'm fine with my students bringing in just the basic 2-pocket portfolios with prongs. In case you're not familiar with prongs, this is what it looks like. It's these 3 silver things right here. This allows me to go ahead and add in sheet protectors to the folders. And what I like to do is add in really important things that I want the students to learn. For instance, I want them to know their first grade sight words, and so I'll stick the list in there. Also, sometimes I have important numbers that you need to know, and I'll stick that in there as well. Just something that I hope your child will learn, or something that is important for you guys to always have, and so I like to stick them in there. The fifth item I recommend that you get for your child for school is pink rectangular erasers, just the basic ones, and I prefer them in this size just because they work really well, they last long, and they don't break that easily. Now I know I've been showing you all the cute mini erasers I found at Target's Dollar Spot, or I know there are all these really cute fun shaped erasers you see around that look like unicorns or pineapples and that sort of thing. However, when you're buying the erasers, you have to remember this needs to be something that works for your child and is actually functional. If they have something cute like that and it doesn't erase, then your child will get frustrated in the classroom. Also, as cute as those mini erasers are that I buy a lot of from Target's Dollar Spot, I don't use them, or I don't have my students use them to actually erase with. We use them more for math, counting, sorting, that sort of thing. And I provide my students with these rectangular erasers. They last really, really long. They work really, really well, and the students never complain about them, guys. So when buying erasers, get them the basic rectangular erasers. The next item I recommend you get your child for school is a pair of kid scissors, and get them in the blunt tip, not the sharp tip. When I say blunt tip, I mean this type of tip where it's kind of rounded at the edge. Also, I recommend these types of scissors because a lot of times in first grade, the students are still learning how to cut. A lot of students, you'd be surprised, don't have experience with scissors, so they come to school and they're using it for one of the first few times ever, and they don't know how to use the scissors. They have their hands all over the place, and if you get a pair of scissors with a pointed edge, then students can poke themselves, and that is not fun, guys. So get them one that's a blunt tip. And we do a lot of cutting in first grade, so I highly recommend a pair, because sometimes if a student doesn't have a pair of scissors, they get frustrated waiting and it's not fun for them. So get them a pair of scissors. The next item that I recommend you get your child for back to school is a set of markers. And I would recommend you get the 10 classic colors in a broad line tip. The reason that I recommend the classic colors is because those are the colors that most students are learning about and using. Now, I know markers come out in pastel colors, I know they come out with neon colors, but get your kids the basic classic colors, because that's what they're learning in first grade. They're learning how to spell the words, and a lot of times we'll have maybe a worksheet or activity that says color the circle blue, color the triangle red, and if your child doesn't have a basic red marker because they got some kind of a neon pink or a pastel pink, then a lot of times the student will not color. They refuse to color. They're like, it says red, I need red. You know what I mean? Because kids love to follow rules. They want to do the right thing. So guys, get them the basic because that's what they want. That's what they need for school. The next item I recommend you get your child for back to school is some dry erase markers, especially if the teacher has it on the list. The reason why I say this is because in my classroom, I give the students dry erase boards, and a lot of times when we are working together to learn how to do certain things like maybe math or maybe spelling, I'll have the students pull out the dry erase boards, pull out their dry erase markers, and then I'll give them a problem and they have to solve it on those dry erase boards and then show it to me. Or I'll throw out a word that they should know how to spell, they write it down, and then I go ahead and check. So this is a great way for students and teachers not to waste paper. And the reason I recommend more than one is because sometimes students forget to close the caps really good, and these dry erase markers run out of ink so fast. They dry up so quickly, so I definitely recommend more than one. The ninth item I recommend for your child for back to school is a set of glue sticks. My goodness, my students love using glue sticks and they take it so seriously. They're so serious when they're gluing. They feel like they need to get every little last bit. And that's why I said a set of glue sticks, more than one, because they love to use this. Now, I prefer glue sticks over a bottle of glue, liquid glue, because when you use liquid glue, the students tend to put so much glue that it never dries, or they get kind of sticky and, you know, they waste it and they run out of the glue so quickly. With these glue sticks, at least all they can do is rub it on the paper and then be done. Can you imagine being a student or a child and having to wait for somebody else to be done with theirs so that you could borrow it? Not fun. So definitely get your child some glue sticks. And finally, the last item I recommend you get your child for school is a pencil box or a pencil case, something to contain their items. A lot of times students sometimes break their boxes, like their crayon boxes or their marker boxes, and they need something to put all of their pieces in so they don't lose them. And so I recommend getting some type of pencil case or pencil box just to hold it all in. Plus it keeps their desk a lot neater, and they don't have to be searching through their entire desk looking for that certain marker in the color they want, or they don't have to search all over for the pencil they want. They'll have it all here in their pencil box. So here are the top 10 items that I recommend your child bring to school if you could only get 10 items. Of course, they definitely need some sort of backpack or school bag and shoes, but that's the obvious. These are items I'm talking about where if you had to choose, you know, the top 10, then these are the items I'm recommending for use in classroom. Now, every school is different, every teacher is different, every grade is different. It all depends on what your teacher needs, but if this is all you can get, then this is what I would like for my students to bring, because they're going to be writing every single day in the classroom, so they're going to need pencils. They need something to write in. They're going to need a notebook. They need erasers to correct their work. They need crayons and markers to color in, glue sticks to glue things on, a portfolio to bring papers home, a pencil box or pouch to put everything in, and of course my students use a whiteboard almost every day, so if they didn't have a dry erase marker, trust me, students get pretty upset when they don't get to use the dry erase boards because they love it, guys. So remember, these are not must-haves in all schools or with all teachers, but these are things I would prefer to have in my classroom. And as mentioned, a backpack and shoes are obvious, so you definitely need those, but this actual school classroom items I would love in my classroom. So guys, hopefully that helped some of you who are doing some back to school shopping for your kids to figure out what items you can get by with for now and then pick up later if you need to. I hope that this video has helped you a little, especially for those of you that requested it. I hope that you guys like my video. I hope you share it with your friends, and if you haven't done so already, I hope you subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day, guys!